Alright guys, second video for the day, and obviously while we're doing this, we're going to upload our first one. But yeah guys, obviously we have a very, oh boy, we have an interesting story here. Yeah, a really interesting story. So the left don't seem to like affidavits anymore. We've gone away from the age of hashtag believe all women. The left doesn't want to believe women anymore, especially ones that testify against election meddling or that testify that there was election fraud. We're not believing those ones anymore. That in itself is irony. But now we're going to be just flat out refusing to believe anybody that has a signed affidavit. So, law firm claims more than 280k pre-marked ballots disappeared in Pennsylvania. So, as many as 280,000 pre-marked ballots were transported from Belthrop, New York to Lancaster, Pennsylvania in late October and then disappeared, the director of public interest firm said on Tuesday, quoting a postal service subcontractor. Phil Klein, the director of the legal group Thomas More Security Amstead Project, said at a press conference in Arlington, Virginia, that the witness has testified to the fact that ballots that went missing, which were verified by other witness statements. So, what are we talking about? Well, here we are here. I was driving completed ballots from New York to Pennsylvania. So I decided to speak up. Update. USP contract truck driver who transferred 288,000 ballots from New York to PA speaks at press conference. So as reported earlier by Cassandra Banvak's new election fraud whistleblower came forward on Tuesday, including one witness, then the shipping of an estimated 144,000 to 288,000 completed ballots across 3 state lines on October the 21st. The new information was made public at a press conference by the Amstead Project of the Thomas More Security, or Social Society, a national constitution legal litigation organization. The Amstead Project said that they have sworn declarations that stated over 300,000 ballots are the issue in Arizona, 548,000 in Michigan, 204,000 in Georgia, and over 121 in Pennsylvania. They claim that the evidence reveals multi-state illegal efforts by UPS workers to influence the election at least 3 of the 6 swing states. The whistleblower statement included potentially hundreds of thousands of completed absentee ballots being transported across 3 state lines, which is a felony, I believe, and a trailer filled with ballots disappearing in Pennsylvania. Attorney Phil Klein said 130 to 180 completed ballots for the 2020 general election were shipped from Bennett, New York to Lancaster, PA, where those ballots and the trailer in which they were shipping disappeared. Truck driver Jesse Morgan was present at the press conference and spoke for 9 minutes about his unbelievable ordeal. Morgan was tasked with delivering completed ballots to Pennsylvania from the New York state. Jesse Morgan said, in total, I saw 24 grey lords, or large cardboard containers of ballots, loading onto my trailer. These grey lords contained plastic trays, I call them totes or trays, or ballots stacked on top of each other. These are the envelopes that were the same size. I saw the envelopes had return addresses. They were completed ballots. Jesse went on to say that he sat in the Harrisburg for hours when he was told to leave at the supervisor at the postal office would not give him the slip or an overtime slip so he could get paid. Jesse said the manager or supervisor was kind of rude. Jesse's testimony today revealed that the employee in the United States Postal Office were in on the conspiracy to steal votes. So update from the reader Brian. Please note that they're passing on this information. I'm a professional driver and all companies own aboard the computers in the trucks. They have recorded miles, locations and arrival times, so we should be able to verify this. In the electronic logbook, there'll be a variable source to verify any movement of illegal ballots. This is more unbelievable at every turn. Contact me if the information is needed, given to all the other staffers, right? And that said, computers can also be wiped as well. But the whistleblower, I drove thousands of ballots from New York to Pennsylvania. On Tuesday, a truck driver testified that he had driven thousands of ballots from Bethpage, New York, to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 2 weeks before the election day. Phil Klein, a former Attorney General of Kansas and the director of the Amstead Project of the Thomas More Society, said that the Amstead Project has corroborated the truck driver's story. The evidence demonstrates, though, the eyewitness testimony has been corroborated by other eyewitness testimony that the 130 to 180,000 ballots completed for the 2020 general election were shipped from New York to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, to a facility incapable of processing them, Klein explained in the press conference. A spokeswoman later clarified that the estimated range from 144 to 288,000 ballots. The evidence demands investigation. This evidence demands answers, Klein insisted. He reported that the Amstead Project is working with the FBI and the U.S. attorneys in various jurisdictions to get to the bottom of the story. Jess Morgan, the truck driver involved, told the story at the press conference. I'm a tractor trailer for the U.S. Postal Service, a subcontractor. I drove a route from Lancaster, Pennsylvania to New York to Harrodsburg, Pennsylvania, and then back to Lancaster, he explained. On October 21st, when I arrived from my usual route from Bethpage, he recalled, an expediter made 3 references to ballots that would be loaded onto my trailer, including saying, "Hey, you have ballots today." He recalled receiving 24 Greylord boxes full of ballots stacked on top of each other. He saw that the envelopes had handwritten return addresses. They were completed ballots. I didn't think much of it at the time, Morgan said. When he arrived at the Harrodsburg, he was not allowed to offload the mail. I was made to wait roughly 6 hours from 9 a.m. to nearly 3 p.m., he recalled. At this time, so all of this was weird, Morgan said. After waiting 6 hours, he went inside and was asked to see the expediter. I was told to wait for the transportation supervisor, the official Morgan had never dealt with, the top guy. He's the kind of guy that would speak to my boss. The supervisor told me to drive to Lancaster without being unloaded in Harrodsburg, Morgan said. I knew the ballots were loaded from Harrodsburg. He also recalled asking for his ticket, the slip that showed that he had arrived, and late slip to prove that he had been delayed. The supervisor refused to give him the slip. I then drove to Lancaster, unhooked my trailer in its normal place, and then drove my truck to where I always park it, he recalled. The next day it all just got weirder. I arrived at Lancaster. My trailer was gone. Not there anymore. Since I started driving at the backward roads, I've always had a trailer 10R1440, Morgan said. He knows because he's really liked the trailer. What happened on the 21st of October was a series of unusual events that cannot be a coincidence. The truck driver insisted, I saw the ballots with the return address filled out, thousands of them, loaded onto my trailer in New York, headed for Pennsylvania. As things became weirder, I got thinking and wondering why I was driving completed ballots from New York to Pennsylvania. I don't know why, so I decided to speak up, Morgan said. Colonel Tony Schaefer, who was working with the Amstead project team, said the organisation had backed up Morgan's story. Klein is the source that told him Morgan's story matched up perfectly with how you would insert fraudulent mail into the stream. At the press conference, the other whistleblowers spoke about the postal workers delivering Joe Biden campaign mail when they were discarded mail from the Trump campaign. So at the press conference, other whistleblowers spoke up about postal workers delivering Joe Biden campaign mail while they discarded mail from the Trump campaign. These claims observed serious investigation. So yeah, that happened. Boy, I didn't know the US election system was that rigged. I know people are going to sit there and say, at the end of the day, this is just an eyewitness testimony. But this Amstead project, or whatever their name is, they are claiming to have backed up his story. With proof. Now, obviously this is interesting. This is obviously something we also need to get to the bottom of. This also cast doubt on Pennsylvania. So now we have Georgia and Pennsylvania that are in serious doubt. Boy, oh boy. Anybody, and this is where I lose my interest in Jimmy Dore. I love Jimmy Dore, I really, really do. He's obviously left, I'm more right, I suppose. But at the end of the day, I'm more centrist, but you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, Jimmy Dore keeps going on about Trump being establishment. If Trump was establishment, would they try this hard to get rid of him? Ask them the question. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Obviously, at the end of the day, I find this story very, very interesting. I think it is something that obviously needs to be investigated, and I'm glad that the US, I think they said the US Attorney's Office, was it? FBI and the US Attorney's Office. Look, at the end of the day, him driving ballots across state lines is illegal. I believe that's a felony. Yeah, I believe it's actually a felony. But guys, yeah, look, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Obviously, they're not going to go after this guy. This guy deserves a medal. But they're going to go after his bosses. They're going to go after the people that organised this, if it ends up being true. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. This will be it for the day. I've got a splitting headache, and I've put 2 videos out. I'm sorry, I've got a headache. Apart from that, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comments, and I will be back tomorrow. Have a great night, enjoy yourselves, and I will see you guys tomorrow.